Women who don't have children don't typically regret it,
and she goes on to say that women that have kids sometimes regret it. And I would dare say that we don't regret the children, we regret the situation that created the children. I met a guy last year and we were just casually dating. And one of the things he said to me was, if I had met you sooner, I would have given you some babies. And I was like, dude, I didn't have kids because I didn't want to have kids, not because I didn't meet great men. I personally did not want to have kids. So I didn't have them. I was never the person that was like chomping at the bit to have a baby. That was not me. Even if I got married at 28, I had my first child at 40. The doctors, when they told me at about 35 that I couldn't have kids, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I got pregnant at 40. And I often think back on my relationship and I said, I think that was the beginning of the end of my marriage, because having a child brought so much extra responsibility and stress to the relationship, stress that we were not accustomed to because we had been child free for so long. And then I had to quit my job because I got super sick, and I had a super demanding job. I had to quit my job in order to be home for the kid, which I was okay with. But then my ex-husband just wakes up one day and decides that he doesn't want to be married to me anymore. And now I am a single parent in my 40s, something that I work actively against. So I never regretted having my son, but I look at the irony of I am a single mother in my 40s after I spent my 20s avoiding that situation like the plague. And it's not lost on me that my ex-husband now dates women with no children. Yet here I am, the one that made all of the sacrifices, made decisions with him to have a child, then made the sacrifices that came along with parenting said child, and then he just ups and leaves and like, this shit is too hard, I don't want to do it no more. And then goes off in the world and then find other women that do not have children. Yet here I am, still with the responsibility of raising another human. So I never regret it. I love my kid. Oh my God, he's like the best, smartest, funniest, like changed my life. Amazing. I never regretted having him, but the irony of the situation is not lost on me. That I had a child with a man that then decided I don't want to do this shit no more, and peace out, and left, and now only date child-free women.
Women should really be careful of the men that they make babies with, because the older I get, the more I realize that men really don't want children. Men want to make you a mother. That's their main aim. They want to make you a mother. They don't want to be dads. They don't want to be fathers, but they want to see you pregnant. They want to see you having a baby. That's it. They don't want to make a life with you. They don't want to make a family with you. And that goes to the majority. Different traces. It's the same mentality. So as a woman, I think you should definitely have a baby for yourself. It's great if the man will be there, but be ready to handle it by yourself, because a large number of men do not want kids. They do not want to be dads, but they want to see you become a mother. That's why even the previous lady that spoke, she said the man left and he's only dating women without kids. Of course they're dating women without kids. Why would they date another woman with children? They don't want that. So going through some of these comments, you can see that so many people agree with what this lady was saying in her video about men just being allowed to drop the ball, just drop their kids and just move on with their life and move on to women with no kids. Like this woman here is saying, men have always been allowed to leave marriages and children and still be accepted into society and praised eventually. Women are chastised if they say parenting is hard or if they want a break. If a woman left, society would reject her and they would make her remember it forever. Men have never had real accountability. I agree. I don't think there's even anything to add on to that. She said everything. Then And then we have this other person who says, I got pregnant at 19, had my son at 20. He's 15 in October. I would never have another child. I'm 36 in September. Women wouldn't have kids if they educated themselves on who men really are when dissented. I got lucky and went into tech and became an engineer. Most women get stuck in struggle. Would not recommend. Society isn't set up to support motherhood. And this is the other thing that also for me made me become child free. I could see all these other women struggle, really, struggling alone. Even though it took two to make the baby, they're left alone to struggle. The government is not helping. Community is not helping. Your partner is not helping. Then you just see a woman's life keep going down, you know, like they're not progressing in life. The only single moms that I've seen progressing are the people who are helped by their family, who are helped by society. They give them money, they give them help, the physical help, they house them, you know, they do stuff for them. But let's face it, that's a very small percentage. The rest of the women, if you get yourself pregnant and your man leaves, that's it. And society does not even expect you to walk away, because if you walk away, then you're a bad mom. How dare you? How dare you leave? But men leave all the time and it's okay. Nothing happens. And then this final comment that I just had to read. And she says, I regret everything. I am so stressed out with worrying about them. The financial burden, the day-to-day raising two teenage girls, all the sacrifices I've made to be a good mother. The rent I pay for a 3-bedroom versus the 1-bedroom if it was just me. On the bright side, my girls are sweethearts. I guess there's always a silver lining. With every problem, with every situation that you get yourself in, the best way to weather the storm is to look for the silver lining. So even if it's a struggle to raise the two kids, and it's a struggle to just day to day taking care of two children that you thought you're gonna do this thing together, but the dad is not dead or anything, he's alive, just dating women without kids and leaving you with the children. The silver lining is the kids bring you joy. And I'm happy for you that the kids bring you joy. But in my own situation, I would rather find joy in other things than bringing a child into this world. Yeah, and that's my take.